Hello everyone, welcome to the Vietnam War 360-degree channel. Today, I will introduce you to the exemplary heroes of the Vietnamese army during the period when the Vietnamese people resisted the French invasion. Despite lacking equipment, they achieved victory thanks to the indomitable fighting spirit. This spirit was encapsulated in the motto, "We would rather sacrifice everything than lose our country, rather die than be enslaved." During this time, many brave individuals sacrificed their lives in their youth, becoming the iconic heroes of Vietnam's resistance against the invaders. Number 1. Hero Phan Đình Giót in the Battle of Điện Biên Phủ. Phan Đình Giót was born in 1920 in Hà Tĩnh province, in a very poor family. His father died early, leaving his brothers and sisters to live with their mother in a dilapidated thatched house. In 1950, he volunteered to join the main military force. Once, he even used his own blood to write a letter of determination to the regiment, demonstrating the indomitable spirit of a person who had awakened and followed the revolution. In March 1954, during the battle at Him Lam Hill, the entire battlefield was engulfed in smoke and fire and shook after many artillery shells. Soldiers of the 58th Company rushed forward to clear the way. Phan Đình Giót threw the 9th grenade and was wounded in the thigh but continued to attack with another wave of attacks. The French concentrated their firepower, raining bullets on the Vietnamese troops. After destroying 2 enemy bunkers, they encountered fierce fire from the 3rd bunker, forcing the Vietnamese troops to stop and suffer heavy casualties. Phan Đình Giót used all his strength to rush forward, using his own body and heart to block the enemy's machine guns. When the most dangerous point of the French army was neutralized, the entire Vietnamese unit advanced, overwhelmed and captured the Him Lam stronghold, winning the opening battle of the Điện Biên Phủ campaign. Number 2. Hero To Vĩnh Diện in the Battle of Điện Biên Phủ. To Vĩnh Diện was born in 1924 in Thanh Hóa province and joined the army in July 1949. To bring artillery to the battlefield, Vietnamese soldiers had to use human strength to pull heavy artillery pieces, each weighing several tons, over steep and rugged mountains for hundreds of kilometers. These powerful weapons were provided by the Soviet Union and were extremely valuable to them. After 5 arduous days of pulling artillery pieces with the comrades through difficult terrain, a crucial moment came when they were moving the artillery pieces out of the Điện Biên Phủ battlefield in early 1945. Halfway through, the rope broke, causing the artillery pieces to roll rapidly downhill. To Vĩnh Diện let go of the handle, rushed forward and used his body to wedge himself under the artillery wheels, helping his comrades hold the artillery pieces and prevent them from falling into the abyss. He heroically sacrificed himself after this extraordinary act of bravery. Number 3. Hero Văn Đàn. Văn Đàn was born in 1931 in Cao Bằng province. He enlisted in January 1948 and participated in many campaigns, consistently demonstrating bravery and a proactive spirit in overcoming all severe hardships. During the Mường Pồn Battle, Lai Châu, in December 1953, the situation became perilous when the enemy counterattacked. The entire squad was nearly wiped out, leaving only 17 men. The machine gun could not be fired because there was no place to set it up. Despite being injured, and in a critical situation, Văn Đàn used his body as a gun rest for his comrades to fire, pushing back the enemy. He heroically sacrificed his life, holding the gun tightly on his shoulders until the end. Văn Đàn died at the young age of 23. Number 4. Hero Trần Can. Trần Can was born in 1931 in Nghệ An province. He applied to volunteer with the army 3 times, but was rejected due to poor health. It wasn't until his fourth application in 1951 that it was accepted. During the battle at Him Lam Hill, which marked the beginning of the Dien Bien Phu campaign, Trần Can was tasked with leading a squad to penetrate deep, destroy the command post, and plant the victory flag on the French stronghold. Despite the fierce firepower from the French, he led his squad past the bunkers, directly striking the command post like a sharp knife into the enemy's heart. He then climbed onto the bunker and planted the flag. Following this, he commanded his squad to eliminate the French soldiers, capturing 25 of them and seizing many weapons. He organized the consolidation of their position, and when the French launched a fierce counterattack, hoping to defeat the Vietnamese to secure the gateway to Mường Thanh, Trần Can led his unit in repelling the artillery assault and steadfastly held their position. He heroically sacrificed his life at the young age of 23. Number 5. Hero Hoàng Văn No. Hoàng Văn No was born in 1932 in Cao Bằng Province and enlisted in 1952. Before the campaign began in the Green Hill area, an enemy company advanced with the intention of crossing Green Hill. Hoàng Văn No's squad opened fire to stop them. The battle was fierce and lasted the entire day. Many Vietnamese soldiers were shot and fell. Overcome with grief and anger, Hoàng Văn No raised his bayonet and, like a flash of lightning, charged forward, stabbing a legionnaire soldier in the chest. He then proceeded to kill the second, third, and fourth enemy soldiers. As he continued to charge toward the fifth soldier, the enemy opened fire, and Hoàng Văn No was killed. He died in a heroic and majestic stance, embodying the valor and bravery of a warrior. He sacrificed his life at a young age of 22. Number 6. Hero Văn Cầu. Văn Cầu was born in 1932 in Cao Bằng Province. He fought in 29 battles, consistently demonstrating exemplary bravery and successfully completing every task assigned to him. During the second battle of Đông Khê in 1950, his right arm was shattered by enemy fire. Despite his arm hanging limply, Văn Cầu showed no fear. Instead, he urgently asked his comrades to cut off the damaged arm to avoid hindrance. In the midst of the fierce battle, even after losing an arm, he continued to charge forward with explosives, destroyed the enemy bunker at the bridgehead, and paving the way for his unit to advance and completely annihilate the enemy position. Number 7. Hero Chính Lan. Chính Lan was born in 1930 in Nghệ An Province. He enlisted in 1946 and quickly became a standout soldier in both training and combat. In December 1951, his unit was ambushed by French forces for the second time at Giang Mo. Suddenly, a French tank arrived to reinforce the enemy, firing intensely at the formation and blocking the retreat, causing many Vietnamese casualties. Chính Lan charged forward and leaped onto the tank, attempting to fire his submachine gun through a gap in the turret, but the gun jammed. Undeterred, he called for his comrades to bring grenades. Swiftly, he climbed back on the tank, bravely pulled the pin on the grenade, waited a few seconds for the smoke to start, and then threw it into the tank's cabin. The explosion killed all the soldiers inside, stopping the tank in its tracks and allowing his comrades to complete their mission. Chính Lan heroically sacrificed his life after the battle ended in victory. Number 8. Heroine Thị Sáu. Thị Sáu was born in 1933 in a poor family in Đất Đỏ. At the age of 14, she joined the resistance and served as a liaison officer in the Đất Đỏ region. In December 1949, during a mission in Đất Đỏ, she was captured by the enemy. Despite being detained and brutally tortured for over a month in the Đất Đỏ prison, she did not reveal any information. Even while imprisoned, Thị Sáu continued to communicate with her comrades and assist fellow inmates. During her trial, although only 16 years old, Thị Sáu defiantly declared, "Loving one's country and fighting against colonial invaders is not a crime." Despite the lack of evidence, the French colonialists and their collaborators sentenced her to death. However, because she was under 18, they exiled her to Văn Đàn. On the morning of January 23rd, 1952, she was executed at Gondang. Before her execution, the priest performing the last rites said, "Let me absolve you of your sins." She firmly replied, "I have no sins. Only those about to execute me are the ones with sins." The priest persisted, asking, "Do you have any regrets before you die?" She looked directly at him and the judge, responding, "I only regret that I couldn't kill all the colonial invaders and their collaborators." At the execution ground, she declared, "Do not blindfold me. Let my eyes see my beloved homeland until the last moment, and I have the courage to look straight at your guns." After saying this, she began to sing the Vietnamese national anthem, Tiến quân ca. When the soldiers readied their rifles, she stopped singing and shouted her final words. "Down with the French colonialists! Long live independent Vietnam! Long live President Ho Chi Minh!" These heroes may come from various regions across Vietnam, but they all laid down their lives for a common ideal, sacrificing for their homeland. The contributions and sacrifices of the younger generation and the entire nation have collectively forged a heroic chapter, leading to the monumental victory at Điện Biên Phủ. This victory ended French colonial aggression in Vietnam and Indochina, marking a historic achievement. They represent a generation of Vietnamese youth who were willing to give their all for the country. How do you feel about these exemplary heroes and martyrs from the period of the resistance against the French? Please leave your comments. That's it for today's video. I look forward to seeing you in the next ones. Thank you.